Chandrika Gibson, yoga therapist, and this is a short chair yoga practice. I invite you to find a sturdy chair and to sit yourself down with shoulders low. To begin with, we'll be noticing the sensations as we sit. So you might like to bring awareness to your feet on the floor. If you're in socks or slippers, that's okay. You can notice the sensations where your feet connect with the ground and start to bring some wriggling movements into your toes. See if you can bend and straighten the small joints of your toes. They tend to want to move together. Then you might like to try spreading the toes out wide. And when you spread the toes out wide, you might observe the way the arch muscles start to engage and lift. With the feet grounded, notice your seat, the parts of your body that connect with your chair. And if it's possible for you in the situation you're in, you might like to just scoot forward a little bit towards the edge of your chair so that you can lift your spine tall. You might imagine that the crown of the head is drawing up, and there's a subtle firming close to your spine, keeping your back upright, but not rigid. Notice your breath, and start to draw some deeper breaths down into your belly. Long, deep inhales, long, extended exhales. Returning awareness to your feet, let's take one foot forward and start to point and flex through the toes. You can link this movement with your breathing, perhaps inhaling as you point, exhaling as the toes draw back. Do that a few times in time with your breath. And then on an out breath, release that foot back to the mat. And we'll do the same on the other leg. So pointing the toes as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, pressing out through your heel as the toes draw back. Making a few of these, kind of like a paddling action with your foot. You might notice that the leg muscles engage when you do this. Long, deep breaths. And on an out breath, releasing that foot back to the mat. With that sense of having paddled the feet, you might now lift one heel and lower it, and then lift the other and lower it. It's almost imitating the action of walking. It starts to wake up the lower legs. And then regrounding the feet, feeling that connection with the floor beneath you. Reaching one foot forward again. This time we're drawing circles with the big toe and rotating the ankle joint. It's normal to hear a little bit of clicking or cracking in the joint. Don't worry about it. These movements hydrate the synovial capsule nicely. After a few circles one way, circle back in the other direction. And then you can replace that foot to the floor. Doing the same on the other side. We always like to make the body as symmetrical as we can in our practices. It's never truly symmetrical. We're circling that foot like drawing circles with the big toe, and the ankle joint is moving through its range of motion. When it feels natural to pause, change direction. And then release that foot back to the mat. Again, checking in with the sensations in the soles of the feet as best you can. Next, we're noticing our hands. They might have been resting in our lap or on our legs. So let's bring some movement to all of the small joints of the hands, wriggling your fingers and your thumbs. You might like to draw the hands into fists and then expand the fingers out wide. You can do that a few times, Just feeling all the muscles, the tendons, everything working in your hands. And then you might lower the back of the hands to your legs again, or somewhere that's comfortable for you, and connect index finger and thumb tip. This is both a limbering exercise and what's called in yoga a mudra. It's got a kind of subtle, energetic connection. So just observing what you feel as you move your thumb tip to the next fingertip. Stay for a couple of breaths, noticing any sensations there. And then moving to the next fingertip. And finally, thumb tip connecting with little fingertip. And releasing the fingers, give them a little shake out so they're loose, and then you can circle both wrists, taking the wrist joints through their range of motion. And much like the ankles, it's quite normal if you hear some audible noises coming from the joints. After a few circles in one direction, change directions. Probably doesn't change much for the joint, but it's good for our brains. We're making this mind-body connection. And then letting your hands find a place to rest. Bring some awareness to your shoulders. Maybe give them a shrug up towards your ears, and then soften them down. And if it's comfortable, you could circle the shoulders back a few times. Another way to do these circles is to bring your fingertips onto your shoulders and draw circles with your elbows. So whichever option feels best for you, just shoulders moving or elbows drawing circles. And after a few circles one way, change direction, rolling the shoulder joints the other way. And then releasing, letting the shoulders soften down, hands find a resting place again. This time with hands on the legs or knees. We'll see how we go with a seated cat-cow. Inhaling as you arch your back and look up. Exhaling as you lower your chin, let your shoulders hunch, round your back. It's nice to flow in time with your breath, arching on the in-breath, rounding on the out-breath. Always moving in your comfortable range, nothing too forceful. Couple more times. And then as your spine returns to that neutral position, you might pause for a moment, just noticing any after effects of the movements. Let's bring a little movement into our neck joints next. So you might like to start to turn your head from side to side, exploring how the neck feels. It's an unhurried movement. And coming back to center, try tipping one ear towards the shoulder on the same side. If that's not much stretch for you and you want more, you can use your hand over the top of your head to just gently press onto the head so there's more stretch down the side of the neck. And if you want even more sensation, you can take the opposite hand out, maybe reaching for an arm if there's an arm on your chair, for the bed if you're sitting on a bed, or just out into space like I am. Waiting for the next in-breath and releasing the head up, tipping the head over to the other side. The same options here. You can simply use the head, or you can add a little bit of extra weight by pressing gently with the hand. And the third option is to take the opposite hand away. Next in-breath, coming back to neutral. So we've moved pretty much all the joints in our body. Oh, we could take a twist. Let's twist before we finish up. We're going to inhale the arms up tall. Exhale, turning to one side. You can use the back of the chair to help you, and a hand on the outside of the leg, looking over your shoulder. Inhale as you untwist, reaching tall. Exhale as you twist to the other side, looking over the shoulder again. Eyes are muscles too, so you can exercise your eye muscles to look behind you. Inhale as you untwist. And perhaps a forward fold, if that's comfortable for you, letting your head drop. And then slowly returning to your seated posture. Thank you for joining me.